Hi friends, in this video we are going to talk about what is retrospection and what are the different retrospective techniques that can be useful for your teams. So what is retrospection? So whenever we are doing any development project or whenever we are doing any innovation, we repeatedly bump our heads because instead of inspecting and adapting, we repeat our mistakes over and over again, hoping for a different result. Whenever we have a long list of backlog items, we just want that we could easily tick off the backlog items from our list, and we never think for a moment about how we can plan and steer our teams in the smarter way. So retrospection is basically that opportunity, or it is one of the most important Scrum events which gives you an opportunity to inspect and to create a plan for the improvements. Teams examine what's happening, analyze the way they work, identify the ways to improve, and make plans to implement improvements. It usually occurs after the sprint review and before the next sprint planning. It is a carefully monitored time box. And what is most important that could actually lead to absence of which can actually lead to failure of this event is the trust. So we can say that trust is at the core of this event because we need to hear what people are thinking about others in the team, about the processes that are being followed. And if we actually get to know what they are thinking, then we can define the improvement plan and we can intend to make a difference. So basically the goal of retrospective is to talk about what worked well in a sprint that a team wished to continue doing, what didn't work well for your teams and you should stop doing, and what your team should start doing or start improvising on. Here are the different retrospective techniques that I have used for my teams. So in the past, I have handled multiple teams with different dynamics. So it's not always like that one technique will gonna work out for your teams at all the times. You have to keep trying the new techniques for your teams. Keep this retrospective very engaging for the audience to actually tell you that what they are thinking. So the first retrospective technique that we are going to talk about is 4L, which is liked, learned, lacked, and longed for. So in this, the teams basically document, or the teams basically provide their input on the things that they really liked, things that they have learned from each other in the team, things they have seen that the team is doing but they considered that those things could have been done better, or longed for something that they desired or wished for. For example, in one of my teams, we did a transition from Scrum to Safe. Safe is a scaled agile approach, and there generally the team size is 50 to 120 members. So it's a very big team compared to the Scrum team that I was having. So when I used this technique for my teams, I just wanted to collect feedback from them, that the way we transitioned, what are the different things during this transition that they liked, or during the early sprints when we transition from Scrum to Safe, what are the different things that they learned, or they feel that as a team they are lacking, or they feel that probably if those things would have been done as part of the kickoff from Scrum to Safe, that would have been better for the team. So basically I used this technique as a kind of collective feedback for one of my teams. So if you have that kind of situation, you can use it, because what I feel is that the techniques like what went well, what didn't go well, and what are the action items, these things never work always with everyone. Then the second technique that we're gonna talk about is another very popular retrospective technique, which is mad, sad, and glad. So Matt, here teams gonna provide input that what is that in the team, be it the process, the behaviors, or be it anything that they are not going to take it anymore. What are the things that keeps them happy and they just want to pursue that further? And what are the things that that they just want, that get stuff off their chest? So we say that here Matt is someone where the person can't take it anymore, and sad to get stuff off my chest. So the examples here could be, for example, we are repeatedly facing some issues when it comes to testing, and every time we are doing a manual effort to kind of resolve that issue. So why not we have an automated script? People are going mad when they are doing those things manually all over again and again and again. So that could be those things could be part of the mad part of this retrospective exercise. This is certainly very common in the teams where teams are mature enough and they understand the importance of retrospective, and they just want to get straight to the point. Then the next technique that I have used earlier is calm, keep, add, less, and more. So when we say keep, that means something that the team is doing well and you recognize the value in it. Less means something that's already being done, but as a team we rather do less of it. More, that's something that's already being done, and as a scrum master or as a team, we believe that it will bring more value if done even more. Add, probably a new idea with respect to a process or something that as a team you have seen working before and you just like to bring it to the table. So this is one of the other techniques. The core of all these techniques that we have discussed so far, and the ones that we are going to discuss in the upcoming slide, the core of all these process is same. It's just that these techniques have been given different name and they target to different set of audience. So as I said, that 4Ls can be used when you want to take some kind of collective feedback: mad, sad, glad, or what went well, what went wrong, or the action items, or calm. These techniques can be more of used for the teams where teams are mature enough, they understand the importance of the retrospective, and they just want to be directly come to the point. Then the next technique, and a funny technique, is three little pigs. So this is a picture that I have taken from one of the cartoon series, Three Little Pigs, and it depicts different behaviors. So one of the piggies here, it's very lazy. Another piggy, it's kind of a medium lazy, and the third one, which is the eldest of all three. He's very hardworking. So the idea here is how we wanted to do it is, uh, here we are talking about houses. So house of straw, house of stick, and house of bricks. So we have to ask our development teams as part of house of straw that what do we do that just about hangs together but could topple over at any minute. For example, it could be like development script is very manual and prone to error. We could break production very easily. So do we have a house of straw in any of our processes? Coming to house of sticks, so what do we do that's kind of pretty solid but could be improved? For example, the automation test that the team has developed, they're pretty good, but sometimes they fail for no reason, and we have to manually run them all over again, which is a pain. So that comes under house of sticks. Then house of bricks, what do we do that is rock solid? For example, the continuous improvement and the continuous delivery part in our team is very much automated, very much in place, and it has never failed whenever we are pushing the latest deployments, so it rocks. So these are the different kind of questions that we have to ask, and this kind of technique I have found it very useful to the team where the teams are pretty new to the agile methodology, and as a starting point you could give them these simple examples of houses so that they can relate to it, and they can provide their inputs accordingly. So I would say that it's more of an ice breaking as well, and useful for the early starters. Okay, then next technique that we have is run the sailboat. So retrospective voyage, it uses sailboat as a metaphor to help agile teams reflect on their iteration or program improvement, review their practices, and identify ways to improve. So here in this picture, the tree represents the goal. It represents what the team is trying to achieve. The anchor here, so the anchor represents the problem or the things that holds you and your team back from achieving the desired outcome. And the deeper the anchor is, the worse the problem is. The wind here, it is that strength that is helping your team to be efficient, be effective, be happy. So probably it could be like if we have kind of a lot of work coming, or if things are kind of stuck, then probably a scrum master here, a servant leader here could be that wind who is helping to resolve those issues, or a product owner here could be that wind who is kind of prioritizing the things again for the teams to for the team to move faster. Then we have the rocks. So rocks basically are the significant risk that could disrupt the work or the outcomes that the team wants to achieve. So this is another technique. Then again we have the starfish technique, which is very straightforward, and again more useful for the teams which are more mature and wants to get direct straight to the point. So it talks about what you want to keep doing, what you want to do more of, What is something that you are doing but you are doing less of it? So if you do more of it, it could be more efficient for the team. What is something that you feel that team as a team you should start doing? What is something that's not working out for you and you should kind of, make some changes to that process or stop doing it completely? Then the another technique that we have is the hot air balloon. This is very similar to run the sailboat one. So basically I would say that this is a kind of forward thinking exercise, and it also focuses upon what happened during the last sprint, but it also focuses upon what can happen in the upcoming sprint. So it's a mix of I would say retrospective and futuristic, because this technique helps to uncover the risk, same as run the sailboat, where we say that these rocks, they are the significant risk that could slow down the speed of the team. So here we have two things: looking back and looking ahead. Sorry for that. So as part of looking back, we have fire and hot air. Okay, what gets us closer to high performance, fire or hot air? What helps us go higher? What are the things that push us forward? Then we have these things also, what weighed us down, the forces that are pulling us down. Then, as part of looking ahead, it tells, or team can provide input upon, what is the storm that is ahead of us. Okay, and what we can do to avoid the storm and turns towards the sunny days. What shall we do to overcome the possible challenges ahead of us? Okay, so here also we are trying to identify the risk, the risk that can come into future, and deriving a mitigation plan for that. What are the things that is keeping our efficiency up, and we want to continue doing those things to work efficiently, and what are the issues that are weighing us down, that are not letting us work efficiently. So as I said earlier, the whole idea is saying that we are trying to derive that how we can function better as a team. So the whole idea is same, be it the technique hot air balloon, run the sailboat, starfish, or any other technique. But these are the different techniques that you as a scrum master needs to understand and see that which can be the best one for the situation that you are into. So that's all from my side for now, and if you have any questions, please do post in the comment section. I will try to respond as soon as possible. Thank you for listening to me, and